Chris
Very
is
entertaining.
on technology this week.
All right, I know what you guys are thinking. Trump's been busy this week. He's been firing his secretary of whatever.
Secretary.
Get out of here, secretary!
You know, he's been saying we need more guns in the schools.
Yeah.
He's been doing all this stuff, but forget about that, because I'm doing the technology section.
Guns aren't technology.
So following this shooting that happened in Parkland last week, was it last week or the week before?
It's probably
4 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
3
now?
weeks. Oh my
Maybe
gosh.
4? No, they had the 1 month. They had a protest on the 1 month, and it was like last week.
And we're still talking about it. That's good.
I think that's why they had the protest at the
I
1
like
month
it.
mark.
Let's do 2 months.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Keep it going.
so Trump was talking about all sorts of things, like let's give more guns to the teachers. Let's train the teachers.
He
let's-
also actually suggested raising the age to buy semi-automatic rifles,
21.
which was like very un-Trump-like.
yeah, further
Okay.
gun control. He's been talking about everything.
Quick aside, fair warning, the video I'm about to play has a lot of violence in it.
Yes,
But apparently this is what set him off, right?
no. This video that you're about to see. So Trump, he convened this White House roundtable with members of Congress, members of the video game industry, and members of parents groups, and they showed this video game montage highlighting violence in video games.
Which is like all Call of Duty so far.
It's Call of Duty, Wolfenstein, Fallout 4, Dead by Daylight, The Evil Within, Sniper Elite 4, and
What a throw.
yeah.
I was just thinking, I remember that part, that was sick.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
So these are violent moments
Oh,
from
geez.
violent video games.
that's
Mm.
terrible.
And they're showing it because they want to
Oh, that's not
discuss violent in video games and the correlation between that and violence in real life,
Right.
pertaining to school shootings especially.
Oh
good.
wow.
Oh, shivers. That looks like a
I don't know
Gmod
what-
game. I don't think that should
No,
count.
that's Call of
No,
Duty.
that's
again.
Call of
Oh,
Duty.
my goodness, really?
It's a well-known moment.
This is like
from-
80% Call of Duty.
But why are they killing civilians?
It's a controversial moment from Modern Warfare
You're-
2. You're playing the terrorists.
You're
Yeah.
playing the terrorists.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's not good.
So then they had this roundtable discussing the effects of violent video games.
He seems fine.
So Trump has a history of like being against these things. After Sandy Hook, he tweeted out, "Video game violence and glorification must stop. It is creating monsters."
That's just him repeating all the stuff that they
Oh.
do, though, right? It's
Yeah.
their tactic to get people to stop talking about, hey, we have heaps of guns. Maybe that's the problem.
Oh,
Yes.
what? Sorry.
So he's been talking about. So even a month ago, they were discussing this. So it's in the news this week because they had the roundtable and this video came out, and then a video game crew, I can't remember what they called. They came out with an opposing video highlighting the beauty in video games,
I'm on it.
and which is nice and beautiful. But even a month ago, Trump was talking about school safety. Trump was suggesting. They were talking about school safety, and he was saying, "Yeah, video games are too violent. Movies are too violent. We should have some sort of rating system on all these things."
which they definitely
Which we
do.
have had for about 100 years, but that's
Yeah.
okay. So, violence in video games.
G for gory, right? If
This
it's
is
rated
not
G.
it.
Oh, sorry.
It's 88 seconds long.
Ah.
So it's
Good
a response. It's all on IGN and everything.
I'll find it.
So there's been mass discussion this week, both in retaliation to the Trump's video and his coming out against violence in video games, and just discussion about violence in video games in general.
Showing a montage of nice moments in video games isn't really a counter argument to what he's
It
saying.
truly isn't. I read a very long, in-depth article about how it's almost counterproductive. It's using
Yeah.
their own.
Because then they're like, yeah, just make all the video games like that then. Because it just highlights how violent the violent ones are.
Yes. And it also says that, okay, maybe there shouldn't be violence, but we also have nice ones. Which is not
Yeah.
Not gonna find
the
it.
point.
Just like they're trying to compliment you with something nicer, which is
Just type in Trump video games on Google.
It's not
Doesn't really make
Find it.
sense.
Sure.
I'm not looking for that.
Oh,
anymore.
okay, good.
Okay.
And it's also like, from his perspective, it's such a pathetic, supposed solution to the bigger problem. Like, oh, there's a bigger problem. Hey, let's talk. Like,
It's
yes,
demonstrably wrong because
Yeah.
everyone plays the same video games.
Yeah.
There's no American video games that no one else in the world plays.
yeah, and that's. I'm sure it goes a bit I'm sure that's part of the bigger solution, but that's not the solution. Nor is changing the age of being able to get a gun. Because then they're just going to get it illegally. It's not like people don't buy alcohol when they're not 18.
Yeah, but that's
smokes.
hard. Like, you're in Australia where it's illegal to get a gun. It can be bought illegally.
Yeah.
But do you know who to go to? If you wanted to get a gun because you were really angry about something or depressed, would you know where to go?
Say no.
I don't know. I was trying to think. I'm like, where would I go?
No, but like if you're a criminal or something, right? If you're in a gang or
Are you
a bikie
opposing
gang,
me or agreeing?
I'm opposing you because I don't think that's a true argument. I think making things illegal, just the fact that people can still get something illegally doesn't mean that the fact that it's illegal doesn't have an effect.
I would
Like
say
it's
a
super
very
expensive.
small
It's
way.
really hard to get a gun in Australia.
But not in America is what I'm saying.
No, but
It's
if they
readily
made
available.
it illegal,
Yeah.
that's the point. That's why we're saying make it illegal. Because their gun lobby always makes this argument. It's like, oh, drugs are illegal, but you
Yeah.
can still get a drug. Like you can still get
Yeah.
drugs, right? That's a silly argument.
I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I'm saying it doesn't pinpoint the real issue. Like these are just small. I mean, why?
What are you saying is the real issue?
I think there's nothing inherently wrong with them. Well, there might be something inherently wrong with Americans, but I think if you made guns as difficult to get in America as they are in other parts of the world, I don't think you would have the same rates of mass shootings.
Yeah, but he's not trying to make it harder. He's just saying the age. You need to get them when you're older. So what difference does 3 years make? Is my point.
They won't be able to walk into a store and buy it.
And
But-
these are
but
ki-
I'll
but these are
wait
kids
for
in
that.
school, so school children won't be able to get them.
Well, actually, he was raising it from 18 to 21.
Yeah, that's
so
my
to
point.
be fair, there's only
They're not
one
at school
grade.
either.
Well, the 18-year-old might be, because the guy who did it was an 18-year-old
Yeah,
who'd been
But I'm saying a
kicked out
lot
of
of the
school.
shootings haven't been initially school. They've been people that have gone and been an intruder into the school.
That's not true. The Columbine kids were in that
Kids.
school.
Yeah, but whether it's an outside person or a person within it, they can still access the school.
Yeah. What?
I guess.
Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
but-
go into the school. What I'm just saying
But
is,
you would know that if an adult is trying to get into a school, they shouldn't be there. But
Someone
if it's
will
a
be
student
watching
who
them.
walks in with a gun in their backpack,
No worries.
they get into the classroom.
Mm.
And then apparently
think
the
it's
only
a-
way to stop them is to have a teacher who has a gun who can shoot the kid
with
when
the
they're
gun.
surrounded by 30 other kids.
Yeah.
Given
And
that,
they
like,
harm
I
other
think it's a
people.
20% hit rate of police officers in shootouts.
Yeah.
So they actually hit 20% of the time.
And especially in that shootout, a lot of it was him just pointing a gun through a window and
Yeah.
shooting around.
Yeah.
It's like, what's another teacher with a gun going
it's
to
just
stop
aimless
that?
shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to end up with crossfire and other kids getting killed because the teacher's firing back.
Yeah.
When it comes to violence in media, studies are pretty hard to conduct because you can't exactly expose people to violent media and then give them a gun and see how they react differently to
Yeah.
if they had not. So
Yeah.
studies are more related kind of to microaggression and things like that. So one study found that exposure to violent media and participation in violent media showed an increase in minor forms of aggression, like exposing others to loud noises.
Surely there's like psychological tests, that you could
Yeah, things like this.
pretty closely say, okay, that does relate to someone being more violent.
Yeah, and they would get like giving hot sauce to people who don't like spicy food.
And then seeing how angry they get.
And no, that's what people would do.
Oh, right.
Sort of like a loss of empathy or sympathy in that way.
Oh,
Like, and this is the microaggression because they can't really test real aggression.
right.
Hmm.
So, but again, it's very hard to determine. Like the statistics and the studies, you could find studies to support your viewpoint either way, but there is no conclusive evidence either way that that violent video games cause violence in real life.
Nick brings up a pretty interesting point in that the video games are just as violent everywhere else in
That's
every other country.
100% true. So, 60% of people play video games in Japan, which is much higher than in America,
Yeah.
and they have 6 gun deaths in
Yeah.
a year.
They had
Yeah.
one
That's crazy.
in 2017.
And they're compared to 33,000 in America.
That's actually crazy.
So it's
It's cultural as well.
They put I think it was last week they put like 14,000 pairs of shoes outside the capital, like
Yes.
the U.S. capital, to represent each of the
Students killed.
killed. That was kids. I think it was minors, like
Yeah.
any minor.
Yeah.
Well, there
I
was
guess
a,
they should all be students.
there was some
somewhere,
sort of
but they're not all
walkout
killed in
today,
school
yeah.
shootings, right?
yeah.
A lot of them are actually people getting like kids getting shot in the same home by the gun that the household owns. Like the kid will accidentally get the gun
Right.
because they don't have any laws about how they need to be stored.
They do now, though, don't they?
We have those. I don't know if they have. I don't think they do.
But that's part of the problem, right? In America, it's readily available. Like that's the point you made earlier.
Yeah.
That would go a long way to helping. It's the accessibility people have to it is the problem. So it has to be like a multifaceted approach. It's it being really available and increasing the age. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It will go a long way to decreasing it. Just to come around on that point.
Well, it's funny that it's illegal to drink until you're 21.
Yeah.
But you can buy a semi-automatic assault rifle.
Yeah. What did you say?
It's just Dip talking about how good the guy at Mario is.
Dib, I could do all this, mate. Don't worry. Okay, well, I play video games, so I'm slightly biased, I guess. Do you play video games, Jess?
No.
Well, do you think that video games, in a society where we have equal gun laws around the board, healthy, like, regularly, logical gun laws, do you think if people were exposed to violent media, say 4 or 5 hours a week, do you think that they would be more likely to a higher propensity towards violence?
Good word.
What? Which one?
Propensity.
Violence?
Intensity.
Oh,
That'd be a good word.
I don't know. Did I use
I don't
it
know.
right?
It's hard to say
You
because I
did.
think it a big part of that is also like their psychological state.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So like how vulnerable the kid is, or what their own personal environment is like, so what their home life is, and then you add to that aggression that they're viewing. Are they more likely to feel a certain way than,
That's
other people? Possible. So I think it's got to do more
I would
with.
agree. I
I
think
think
the
it's got
risk.
more to do with the person's individual situation than just blanketing. Because I see that stuff, it doesn't make me go,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You know
we
what I
all know like heaps of people who play video games and they don't try and kill everyone. But it's really like the amount of people who are already predisposed towards that,
Yeah.
and whether it has a increased effect on those people would be interesting to know.
Mm.
But it's still not the reason for like all of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's annoying that it gets brought up every time because it's like,
Yes.
okay,
Mm.
obviously you guys aren't going to change bloody gun laws,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like stop bringing this into it because it's clearly not the problem.
Yeah.
Especially when movies and music have it all in it as well
Yeah.
and get no blame.
Yes.
Well, they
That's a
have
good
a
point,
they have a
actually.
rating system. Maybe we should have a rating system for
There
games.
is.
There is.
Just no one pays attention to it.
They do.
Yeah. No, but
Do they
like this
enforce
kids
it?
game
Yeah.
said.
Oh, they should enforce it.
Well,
they can get
so that's
sued
on the
for it.
parents then,
That's what I
right?
was
If
gonna
they're
say.
letting their kids
Yeah.
It
play
is
games.
on
Yeah.
the parents.
There are some games that like I play and I go, ooh, I didn't want
That's
to see
heavy.
So
that.
you wouldn't let your
No, it'd be
nieces
like
or nephews
I
play
wish
it.
it said on the front someone's head's gonna get cut off in this game.
Hmm.
Like
So you want a
be
more
very clear,
very
of
low
what-
level
If there
rating
if
system.
there's hardcore nudity and violence in the same scene, like tell me, because honestly, some video games are worse than like the worst movies. Like
So you
they
would
get
see the
really-
rating
Really?
thing that says there's hardcore violence and the one that says there's nudity.
And he would
but
say, "Don't
you
show
gotta
it
be
to
okay.
me."
But if
I need
they
another
were
one.
to-
Okay.
So
Nudity
yeah.
and violence separate are fine in my books. It's when they mix that it
I
gets
was
a
gonna
bit.
say,
Yeah,
sure.
Game of
Oh,
Thrones
I
style.
can't watch it. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's complicated, but I agree. I don't think that violent video games are.
I mean, at the end of the
The
day,
problem here.
whatever little that they can do, that even if it makes a little bit of a difference, then hey, why not?
But
Why
what
not
if
test
what
it?
makes a difference?
Like
Like
creative.
legislating violence and creative media.
Yeah. If we can dial it down a
What
little
else?
bit.
Then what else do we need to legislate? Like, can we stop
Movies,
making violent movies?
TV shows.
Mm.
Because I think there's there can be a lot of power in violence, like to send a message against violence. Say a lot of war movies do that.
Mm.
Oh yeah. I wasn't sure where you were going there for a second.
Like, and there are violent moments in video games that speak against violence, and there are horrible things like that you see in horror movies or horror games that have a message contrary to what they seem to be showing you. But
What's your final statement?
It's art, man. You can't like legislate the art,
Yeah.
man. We gotta be
Chopping the
creative.
head off was art.
Legislate.
Can't legislate creativity.
The Art
Yeah.
Man sounds like a really cool superhero.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, anyway, we've gone a little bit long tonight because
well.
the discussion's just been so
Didn't
hectic.
even-
But the people are
Miss
still
Cousy.
there.
Didn't
Yeah.
even
People
talk
want-
about the train story.
Yeah,
And we
thanks.
got a little
Well,
bit long.
Oh, everyone's going to be wondering what the train story is about.
Ooh,
Anyway,
You
mystery.
sickos.
thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. We're live on Thursday, every Thursday, on Facebook Live, 8 p.m. Unless it's like today, and where we're like 10 minutes late, I think.
Thanks, Jess.
Ha!
Oh,
No,
oh,
seriously,
you went
thank
through
you, though.
McDonald's, so
We're-
whatever.
We were
Thanks.
all late. Now, my name is Ali.
My name is Cream.
Oh my God.
I'm Jono.
I'm Jess.
Jess, how do you feel like you went? You okay? You doing
I like this. I think the first time it was like, you should make me a regular.
Yeah.
Like,
And
boot
how
these
do you-
two out and get me in.
I ask you all the time, and you say
That is
no.
a
So you
lie.
want to have a podcast just with Ali?
Yes,
I don't
I
know
will.
how his girlfriend would feel about
We
that.
should
No.
call it
Oh,
that. Let's
why
call
did you
it.
take it weird?
Let's call it Jess
HR
with
for
Ali.
PR.
You tried to get us.
You
get
went,
me kicked
I
out
said
of the
I want to
podcast.
place one of you, not one-on-one with Ellie.
Well,
You just
Let's
obliterate
get
anyway.
jelly.
Do you want to be on every week?
Busy. I'm really busy.
Ugh.
I'm really. There's a lot of HR
That's what happens.
happening.
I'm Texas is like, I might be, but I might be in Melbourne.
I'm an international woman.
What a baller. Yep.
Mrs.
American
International,
woman.
which is crazy because Ali's Mr. International.
I'm not American.
that
Just
Anyway, I'm taken. Get now. It's the end of the episode.
Get-
Make sure you like,
get what,
share,
Ali?
and subscribe everywhere.
Yep.
We love you. Thanks for listening. / watching. Comment to comments.
Sasquatching.
We love everybody. Thanks for watching. R.I.P. French Bulldog.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
To my sister who thought that was a gremlin, it's not a gremlin.
You're a gremlin.
Yoda. You sicko.
Oliver Grimbles.
And
his
to
mother.
Julian, stop texting me. Comment on the Facebook.
Who do you want to call out?
No one.
Oh, okay, Mr. Holy.
See ya.